Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on Kadena. So, it's been a while, about 2 weeks since our last update, but there are some new charts, new fractals, new divergences, and more importantly, some new on-chain metrics coupled with new news events which are only 48 hours away. There's a lot going on right now. Kadena is only about 2 cents away from new bear market lows, and I believe within the next 48 hours, we're going to see a major move in the market. So, let's dive right into this. Let's waste no time. First of all, I want to talk about the on-chain metrics and what Kadena YouTubers are currently not talking about. Let's dive into this and then we'll talk about the technical analysis a little bit later on. So, unlike KDA USD, which is just holding in above its previous bear market lows, Kadena BTC has been breaking down, making new bear market lows almost every single week. And the first major chart I want to talk about today, which has made new bear market lows within the past few days, is a on-chain metric known as the Kadena total value locked on chain. This was once at a high of 40 million and it is now down at a measly 2.7 million. And this can and has been a leading indicator sometimes for the price action. If we look at this on-chain metric, you can see over here, when the Kadena total value locked on chain bottomed, you can see it went on a dramatic rally to the upside. Price soon bottomed after this metric did, and then you can see the total value locked on chain went on a massive bull run. Actually, it made its all-time high after the US dollar all-time high in Kadena, which happened quite some time before this. But if we are looking at the total value locked on chain, what you can see is the total value locked on chain went on an exponential rally much quicker than the price did. This was a leading indicator. Now, I could point out a few other instances of where the total value locked on chain has been a leading indicator for Kadena, but I do want to move on to the next chart and talk about really these two charts, which I never see pop up in Kadena YouTube, which I never see pop up from anyone who analyzes Kadena. Bear in mind, I could be wrong. I don't watch any crypto YouTubers, any stock market YouTubers. All of the people I subscribe to on YouTube are not anything to do with the economy. So if someone is talking about this, feel free to prove me wrong in the comment section down below. But in general, I do sometimes type in Kadena over on YouTube and Twitter and get a gist of what people are talking about, and I never see this popping up. So as you can see, Kadena total value locked on chain has been making new bear market lows, and this is the second chart that I want to talk about, which I never really see being picked up too much. A lot of people talk about the Kadena circulating supply. A lot of people talk about the inflation rate for Kadena, and I always see people talking about, hey, you know, Kadena has a 2% inflation rate, and then someone comments, no, it's actually 5%, and someone comments, no, it's actually 10%, someone else comments, no, it's actually 13%. There never seems to be any known consensus on what the current inflation rate is in Kadena. So I at least want to talk about what we can look at right now in terms of the inflation rate, which has happened this year. So if we are looking at the circulating supply for Kadena, not in the past 365 days, we are looking at year to date, and we do track back to the 1st of January 2023. You can see this was approximately at 213 million circulating supply of Kadena. If we now look at this moment in time as of today, you can see this is at 242 billion. So if we come over to our calculator and calculate the rate of change in terms of the increase, you get this formula from getting the new value, 242 million, subtracted by the original value, 213 million, divided by the original value times by 100 to get a percentage. And you can see this is a 13.6% year-to-date inflation in Kadena. There are a lot of factors going into the inflation rate of Kadena, which are not necessarily bound by a schedule. I've talked about these before, so I won't talk about these again. So tracking the inflation rate year over year is a little bit tricky to do. But in terms of the on-chain right now, you know, we have seen a 13.6% increase. Now, bear in mind, this has been in the first 8 months of the year. And if you look at the chart, you can see this is a pretty linear uptrend in what we have been seeing. So what I want to do is I want to divide this number by 8 to get the average of what we've been seeing every month in terms of the inflation rate. And then I want to times this by 12 to see what a potential figure of the yearly inflation we could see in 2023 is. And you could see this could be approximately 20% inflation. Why am I calculating this? Well, now I want to take us back to the Kadena total value locked on chain, and I want to come back to the 1st of January, and I want to see how much value has flown out of the Kadena ecosystem. It has been approximately 62 to 63%. Let's say 62%. So we've got 62% of the value locked on chain which has leaked out of the ecosystem, and we have a 20% inflation rate. Now, these two figures together have diminished by 82% collectively. And if we now come over to the KDA USD price and look at where we were on the 1st of January and look at where we are now, you you can see there's a very, very big difference in these values. Even if we're not looking at the 20% inflation rate and we're just looking at the 13% that we saw before, this represents about a 75% weakening in the network, and the price is only down 41.5%. So I would say based on these metrics, especially because of the fact that we now do have new bear market lows in the total value locked on chain, we could see Kadena USD continue to break back down to the downside. So there we go. I just wanted to have a discussion on what is happening and what I am currently witnessing on chain with you. Let's now move on to some of the other topics. We're going to talk about the news a little bit later on, but let's now dive into the network analysis. Now, you guys remember a few months ago in May, we made this video called Kadena 42 days worth of pain, in which we were predicting new bear market lows. We made this video round about 90 cent, and we were saying in the next 42 days, we're going to break down, make new bear market lows, then we'll bottom and have a bounce. And as you can see, this 42 days worth of pain was exactly 42 days before we had a bounce. And now I want to show you a similar fractal. It is not the 42 days worth of pain we've originally seen. This fractal came from looking at the stochastic RSI when it comes down to about 0. So as the stochastic RSI is all the way up here at 50, but it's just had a bearish cross, I want to show you a new fractal, which is basically the evil brother of the 42 days worth of pain. Let's talk about it. Now, in this fractal, very similar to the weekly stochastic RSI fractal we looked at before for the 42 days worth of pain, we're now going to identify periods where the stochastic RSI had a bearish cross from at least above this 2030 line. Now you can see right here, we had a bearish cross, we had a bearish cross, we had a bearish cross, bearish cross, and within the past week, we've just put in and got continuation from a new bearish cross on Kadena. So I think it's very likely we're coming down to new bear market lows probably within the next 48 to 72 hours. That's right. Now I want to show you this fractal because even in the most conservative case, this fractal has yielded a 61% drop. If we look at the first time this happened from the bull market top, we had an 85% drop over the course of approximately 77 days. When we had the next bearish flip on this fractal, you can see we had a 79% drop, which took about 70 days to take place as well. So could this be 70 days worth of pain instead of 42 days worth of pain? Well, let's keep on looking at the charts. Over here, you can see another bearish cross. This was a 61% drop. So I do just want to identify quickly, you can see the most bearish drop happened at the all-time high. It was less bearish the next time. It was less bearish the next time. And it wasn't less bearish the next time, but these two are still weakened versions of these two original flips over here. So over time, as you could imagine, the drops will be less exponential to the downside. But let's go over to this one. You can see this one took 105 days worth of pain to drop 61%. And in this instance over here, you can see it took 133 days to drop 70%. So what could we see? Well, let's assume that the rate of change is going to be approximately the same, and we're going to see a further weakening in terms of this pattern. Let's say, hey, instead of having a 90% drop or an 80% drop or a 70% drop or even a 60% drop, let's say, hey, we're only going to drop 40% this time. That is very, very conservative compared to what we've previously seen. If we do drop 40%, where would this take us down to? This would take us down to 30 cent, a price target, which I have been mentioning on this channel for absolutely ages now. This is the next major volume profile to the downside. Now, if you are new to the channel, do bear in mind, I'm not a perma bear on Kadena. Our last video was literally titled Set Your Buy Orders for Kadena. And in this video, I let you know over on this chart where I'm going to be setting my buy orders for Kadena. I'm going to be starting to buy into this volume profile at 32 cent. I'm going to have buy orders at 32, 31, 30, and also some down here in a bearish scenario in case we come down to the volume profile for the visible range down here, the VPVR at 22 cent. My base case, my prediction right now is that we do come down to 30 cent. But if we do just absolutely rug all the way down to 22, I'm not saying it's going to happen in the immediate short term. I just want to have buy orders down there in case that does happen. Once again, not predicting 22 cent. I don't want someone to comment in a few months' time, haha, you set your buy orders at 22 cent and missed it. Most of my buy orders are at 32 cent. I've just got this as a kind of catching the falling knife scenario in case we do slip beneath 30 cent. So this is currently what I'm seeing. This could potentially take us down the next level. And I do want to also highlight, in terms of the 48 days worth of pain fractal, we are at pretty much the same level as we were in this fractal over here. And this was one of the most brutal fractals in which we dropped 82%. So I just want to highlight, me predicting a 40% drop from where we are right now based on the stochastic RSI, I don't think this is too far-fetched. Now, as we mentioned earlier, Kadena BTC very, very much breaking down into new bear market lows almost every single week. If we come over to our next chart, like I said, I do have a new divergence to talk about with you guys. A few weeks ago, we talked about these two divergences which were happening. We had this hidden bearish divergence on the daily, and we also had this regular bearish divergence over on the daily time frame right here. But we also do have a new divergence that I do want to talk about on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm going to reset this chart a little bit later on, so it's going to be a little bit messy while we are running through this. But as you can see, at this moment in time, the oscillator is making highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs on the 4-hour time frame, becoming more and more overextended, and the price action is making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. And as you can see on the 4-hour time frame, guys, we've got a bearish engulfing candle. I think we're going to be coming down to new bear market lows, like I said, in the next 72 hours. Maybe by the time I've edited and uploaded this video, we'll be at 50 cent at new bear market lows. But what is this? You can see this is another classic case of hidden bearish divergence. What happened the last time we had hidden bearish divergence form? This was right here. We formed this hidden bearish divergence at 69 cent. This was only about 24 days ago, and since then we have dropped a massive amount of 27%. Bear in mind, this is on the daily. The new divergence that I just showed you was on the 4-hour time frame, so it's a little bit more weak, but in general we've got a lot of divergences, all bearish, stacking at this moment in time for Kadena. So that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Over on the 4-hour time frame and the daily, I'm really not seeing any patterns that are worth talking about at this moment in time. I'm kind of just seeing us keep on bashing our head against the EMA ribbons on the daily, and especially the 4-hour time frame. You can see on the 4-hour, we've just reverted back into the EMA ribbons once again, and we've got another bearish engulfing candle. Typically, we see this happen quite a lot, and this breaks us down beneath the range. If we do break down beneath this range, we're going to come down to new bear market lows, guys, very, very quickly. So, like I said, I think this is all going to happen within the next 48 to 72 hours. Why specifically 48? Well, because as I'm sure a lot of you guys are aware, there is a news event which is going to be happening on the 9th of August, which I believe is already priced in for Kadena. On the 9th, we are going to have the launch of Link's wallet, which is going to be a quote-unquote gas-free wallet, which is made for the Kadena blockchain. They are also having an event over on YouTube. They have quite a few of these. I'm sure you guys know about these, the Kadena Campfire YouTube live streams. You have the opportunity to claim one of their 200 limited edition Link's wallets NFTs for Kadena. So in the long term, this is definitely bullish. You know, this could potentially be something like a phantom wallet over on Kadena. However, most of the time what you'll witness is whenever there are events like this, if they've already been announced, they're already priced in. Take, for example, the most recent Ethereum merge. You know, it did rally after this, but as soon as the merge came out on this date, it dropped a monumental 40%. A lot of the time, people get hyped up for these events, but they've already been announced, guys. These are already priced into the market. So I think once this finally comes, if we do not break down into new bear market lows by the 8th or 9th, I think we're going to be making new bear market lows as soon as this event comes out. So that's my thoughts on Kadena, guys. This is what I'm currently looking at. We've got a lot developing in the lower time frames and the higher time frames right now. I know it's been boring for the past few weeks or so, but because of all of these developments, because of everything we just talked about, and this new news event which will be happening between the 8th and 9th of August, I think we're going to be getting ready for new bear market lows. And once again, guys, remember, we've been on the sidelines for Kadena since about $7. We are now setting our buy orders, getting ready to DCA into Kadena round about this 30 cent region, and we will be buying down as the price does break down in the next capitulation. So for today, my friends, that's all I've got. As always, if you miss me, if you enjoy the content, if you want to support the channel, make sure to smash that like button, leave a comment, share the videos with your friends, help us get this video boosted on the YouTube algorithm. See you in the next one. It's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.